Hi, I'm Marcus Hargis, President of Oklahoma State University, and welcome to another edition of Inside OSU. We're here tonight at the beautiful Wes Watkins Center, and with us is Marcus Buckingham, a Cambridge-educated expert on personal behavior and success. Marcus, you just gave a wonderful lecture here at the Wes Watkins Center to over 600 of our students and faculty and staff. It went very well. Thank you.
Well, thanks for having me. It's my third time actually here on the OSU campus, and so it was great we've been talking previously to businesses and business community members, but this was students mostly, and it was wonderful to see and hear what their questions were as it relates to career, as it relates to finding the right job, succeeding in that job. So it was wonderful.
Yeah, I think it's especially appropriate because if you're a middle-aged or even late-aged practitioner like myself, I hear what you say and I go, darn, it's too late. I wish I'd have known that when I was in college.
Yeah, it's funny, as they say, I don't know who said it, youth is wasted on the young.
Yeah.
Probably Mark Twain or somebody like that. But yes, when you're young, you got far more room to maneuver as you think about your career and your life. But the problem is you don't know yourself that well, and then by the time you're middle-aged, you know yourself better, but you don't have as much room to maneuver. So my hope with this is that we can help people to figure out who they are, what their strengths are, their interests are early in life, so they have a chance to actually act on it.
Well, I was particularly interested in this because I'm always saying to our students and to their parents that the key thing for us here at Oklahoma State or any university is to help our students find their passion, because if they're doing what they like to do, they'll do it well.
And actually to say to somebody, find your passion, is quite an intimidating thing to say, isn't it? Of all the millions of things that you could be, choose one. You're 19, 20, 21 years old. That's a tough question. My point and the truth about you is, you know what, the answers lie in a regular week of life. The answers don't lie 5 years out, 10 years out. The answers lie right now. So and it's one of the reasons why we've got a strange combination of book and film, and then there's an activity in there where we basically just give you a pad.
It's right here.
Yeah, we just give you a small pad with I loved it and I loathed it, blue cards and black cards, and we say take it around with you for a week. Anytime you find an activity that you actually look forward to, time flies by while you're doing it, scribble it down. Anytime you find the inverse, you procrastinate, while you're doing it you can't concentrate. You might be good, but you can't focus, scribble that down. So if you wanted to know what your strengths are, by the end of the week you'll have about 20 I loved it and about 15 I loathed it. And if nothing else, that'll give you the raw material you need to start narrowing your focus from a 30,000 foot passion to a more specific passion plus precision, which I think is a pretty good definition of strength.
Little matrix that I would use that you created a graph, and the vertical line was have to do it, and the horizontal line was want to do it. And if you put those quadrants, you always start with what you want to do but don't have to do.
Right.
And you work in the other. You should start with what you have to do but don't want to do, and then work your way around.
Well, and ideally you end up with a job where the grand majority of the activities are in the, what would that be, the top right-hand quadrant,
right,
where you have to do it because that's what you're being paid to do, but lo and behold, you happen to love to do it as well.
Yeah.
And the point I think in here is that doesn't just happen. You don't happen upon the perfect job where you're in the top right-hand quadrant. You've got to gradually, deliberately take an imperfect job and each week push your time toward those activities that really do play to the best of you, that you want to do them, and lo and behold, someone's actually prepared to pay you to do them. Yeah. That's a gradual process, but I think people can start with that really early in their careers. They just don't.
So how does someone, take us through some details now. I know you go around and you find what you love and what you don't love, but say you've done all that and you figure out what you love to do is sell things to people, talk to people, persuade people to do things. Now what?
Well, I don't think it's just that you persuade. You have to be more specific than that. So there's the first piece of advice I say in here is that in the end, performance is the point, right? So the companies are set up to say, what's your performance? Now what that means in the end is people in the company will never know you like you know you. They want performance. Frankly, they don't care about you as much as they care about performance. So you have to start off by going, what are the deep interests that I have? What are the articles that I pick up and read about in books? What are the books that I pick up when I'm surfing the web? What am I naturally drawn to? There are patterns inside you that are evident in you at 14, 15, 16 years old. I work with someone actually for the Oprah Show who's beautiful, blonde, 30-year-old, and she was wondering, she's actually got a master's in psychology, and so she was wondering, should I stay in counseling? Should I not? Should I go into consulting? But deep down, she'd always been interested in psychopaths. She would cut clippings on someone who was a mass murderer. She was always interested in forensic pathology.
I can't wait to hear where this is going.
Well, deep down, from the earliest time she could remember, she wanted to know why criminals did what they did. And she'd happened to get a master's degree in psychology, but it was now at 30, kind of floundering around. The challenge for her was to go, wait a minute, if you love thinking through why criminals do what they do, then go and join the FBI and go into their profiling program, which allows you to become an expert in, for the benefit of law enforcement, understanding the motivations of criminals. There's a job for that. Follow your deep interests, and out of that, a beautiful career will come. Well, she'd put that aside. She'd ignored that. So if you want to get specific, you don't just go, I like psychology. You drill down into, or like, I like selling, or even, I like teaching. You drill down into the interests that naturally grab you, and those are available for you to find out.
So you spend a lot of this book, that's the truth about you, you spend a lot of this book talking about the best advice you'll ever get.
Yeah.
Make 5 points.
Well, the first one is take your interest seriously because no one else will. The second one is your strengths aren't what you're good at, and your weaknesses aren't what you're bad at. Your strengths are activities that make you feel strong, and therefore you're the authority on your strengths, and they're there for you to find in a regular week of life. The third piece of advice is that you'll never find the perfect job, so you should gradually push and push and push your time toward the best of you. So what I would call in here a strong week plan. Mm-hmm. So you're rewriting your job description under your boss's nose. You can gradually just push and push and push in that way, but you'll never find the perfect job. And then finally, don't try and turn your weaknesses into strengths. You can't turn your weaknesses into strength. You're always going to have weaknesses. There's always stuff in your life that drags you down. Instead, fess up to what weakens you and then figure out a way to manage around it.
Well, I want you to kind of close our interview here by telling us the one thing you want our students to know about their strengths and how to maximize.
I think the most important thing for anybody to realize is that they are blessed with a unique combination of strengths and weaknesses. They are not some empty vessel they can fill with whatever one they want to fill with. There is a unique pattern of things that invigorate them and things that drain them, and that pattern is unique to them but identifiable by them. If they don't take it seriously at 18, 19, or 20, then they'll wake up at 45 and wish that they had. So if they get nothing away from the truth about you other than stop, listen to what those patterns are, and take them seriously, they're going to be an awful lot further ahead than most students around the country.
Great advice, Marcus. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks
for coming back to Oklahoma State. I hope you'll come anytime. The book is The Truth About You. You get a lot of great wisdom in it. You get a DVD, and you also get a nice little pad. You can write what you like and you don't like. Well, that's the end of this edition of Inside OSU with Marcus Buckingham. We'll see you next time.